You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leck.
And together we are Raw Break. And how's every single one of you? It is Tuesday. It is time to talk about NXT. Probably like one of the best shows in WWE. Things are getting a little better. We get to see not stupid booking anymore. We get to see actually returns. So they're trying to keep the show more interesting than before. So I'm okay with it. We got a championship match today. A lot of new hype. And then, we kind of see when Karrion Kross is going to go, with a new path for Adam Cole. I'm not too happy about that. But let's hear from Paul.
Yeah, I mean, this NXT episode is not big news worthy, but there's definitely a lot of, like you said, new storylines, kind of new things coming out. We saw some people come back to NXT, and you might have even forgot they were in NXT, but, there's lots of different things, different pieces being moved around. And I think that's because there's going to be a lot of call-ups and a lot of, stuff like that, reshuffling of the board, however you want to say it. But pretty solid episode of NXT. Didn't really find too much to hate. But, it wasn't a home run either.
No, yeah, exactly. So, thank you so very much for being with us, family. Thank you one more time. Just please don't forget, for the new ones that are watching us, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We're putting content every single day. And also, follow us in all the social media waves that we have. We're everywhere. Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. Don't forget to also check out the Monday Night Raw review. The go-home show for Money in the Bank. And, yeah, Bobby Lashley is looking like that because Xavier Woods pinned the WWE champion. Absolutely unbelievable. Nobody can believe that actually Xavier will be doing that. But, of course, WWE have to make the champion look really, really weak and buries Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, if Raw hasn't been putting up its lowest ratings and, just awful storylines these past couple weeks, months, what feels like years, they find ways to keep outdoing themselves, make their champion look like a joke. 3 hours, way too long. 3 minutes is way too long watching this show, but
exactly.
Go check out our review, hear the full thoughts there.
Exactly, family. And this show, Paul, is going to be featuring the championship match, Karrion Kross against Johnny Gargano for the NXT championship, like I said. So we're going to talk about that towards the end of the show, the main event. But actually, NXT opened up with Ember Moon against Dakota Kai. A pretty decent match, Dakota Kai, now that he doesn't have Shotzi anymore, so there's no more tags, so it just has to be singles. And like we mentioned on the Smackdown reviews in the channel for you, they reduced, they cut Shotzi Blackheart's name, now it's just Shotzi. WWE has that obsession, that fetish, cutting people's names. But what do you think of the match, Paul? I feel that Amber did pretty good, but of course now Dakota Kai, think that they're trying to make you think about this dissension between Dakota and Raquel Gonzalez, that jealousy between the two.
Yeah, that's pretty much kind of where they're going with this. I really feel, Raquel is another woman. I'm sure Vince sees her and is like, oh man, kind of like China, but kind of she can actually wrestle pretty good. And she's friends with Rhea Ripley. Oh, okay, legit. Vince is real high on Rhea, so she's probably going to be one of those who gets fast tracked to the main roster as well. And I'm fine with that because you have plenty of women you could put this belt on. Raquel doesn't need to have a 400-day title reign or anything crazy. So, I'm fine with this storyline. Dakota Kai getting the win here. I mean, see, they kind of blew their chance by doing Ember Moon already.
Yeah.
Should have waited, did Ember Moon, what made it really feel special. But, maybe Dakota Kai, I don't know if she's, not saying she's not championship material, but I don't really know. With the past champions, then you see her, I don't really know if she kind of fits that bill because she's never really been presented like legit main event woman of this brand. But, she gets the win here over Ember Moon. Like I said, I thought Ember looked good, but you see a little distraction, a little this, a little that, the go-to kick, 1, 2, 3. But then you see Xia Li come out. And I think this is a good one. But again, Xia Li, to me, the way she's been legit, knocking people out. Beth Phoenix said she broke her nose or something like that in the Royal Rumble. She broke Aaliyah's nose or whatever it was. And then she, pretty much knocked out Mercedes Martinez.
She did.
So it's this woman, you don't want to mess with her, man. She'll kick your ass. But so this is good. But again, she's in the same level to me as Dakota Kai. It's some weeks she looks badass, but she's never put up on that, oh man, you're a Rhea Ripley, a Bianca, a Shayna, Io Shirai. She's never on that echelon. She's just maybe 1 or 2 steps below. So I don't know how believable this matchup is, but I mean, she came out, she just said what we said all wrestlers should do. You look at the champion, you say, I want a match.
Exactly.
That's what you win for. You go out to challenge the champion. That's what she did. So this should be pretty good. But Raquel, maybe watch out here. Don't get knocked out or anything.
Exactly. Triple H said like when Xia Li debuted, like she didn't know what wrestling was. She was actually participating in martial arts tournaments, so they got it from there. They did the same thing with Tay Conti. So it's like, we're going to put you to wrestle, and then you're going to fall in love with it. Maybe. So that's why maybe she takes things too seriously. We don't know, but this is going to be interesting, at least, It's like, is somebody been different, and that's good. Because it refreshes the division. It's not the same girls. So she deserved an opportunity.
And if you really wanted to make like a shock and get people to be like, whoa, what, huh? You would put the title on her.
Yeah.
Because nobody would expect that. Everybody say, okay, Raquel's going to beat her. Okay, it's clearly going to go to Dakota Kai and all that, but that would be the swerve.
Exactly. You're right about it. So, tell me a little bit about the Butler. Butler, Cameron Grimes. He goes to also LA Knight's house, and then they're talking. He's like, I wanted a Butler. And he actually refreshes his look. Against the beard and all of that, the hair. And
when they just trimmed his hair and combed it, I really thought they were gonna cut his hair short like LA Knights and trim his beard.
And also shave it. Yeah, I think it was gonna. But no, they didn't do that. But I mean, he kind of looked the same, just a little bit better. But that's got a storyline. This is gonna be skits that they did throughout the night. But we can just go over them. He will just keep giving him chores to do and all of that. Mowing the grass.
Yeah,
and
I love how he makes him mow the grass in a full Butler suit. It's probably hot as hell, and he's 90 some degrees. I'll just mow the grass in this. That's fine. But he wants to use the big tractor. He's like, no, you got to use this old push mower. He's like, oh, my granny used to chase me with one of these. This is fine. So, and then in the first segment, he loved getting the makeover and the hair done and trimmed his beard. So it seems like everything LA Knight was trying to do to piss him off, Cameron Grimes was enjoying. Or, he liked it. So that was kind of getting under his skin. And then, like you said, what were they, cleaning his pool or something? Yeah. Or raking the leaves or whatever.
Doing that, taking out the leaves, collecting the leaves with it.
And he hired some little, some boy or something to do it. And he's what are you doing? He's
with the rake and all of that, yeah.
He's like, well, just because I'm your butler, I'm still a millionaire. He's like, and what do millionaires do? They pay for somebody to do the work for them. And LA Knight's like, kid, you're being bullshit. Get out of here. So then Cameron Grimes, he grabs the rake, kind of knocks LA Knight in the pool. So you see, it's probably going to be something where he's just going to be so annoying and get under LA Knight's skin where he's like, you know what, screw this. You're not my butler anymore. Get out of here. That's how I can easily see them doing.
Yeah, so I like that. So it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. I really appreciate what they're doing with it because it's the funny side of NXT, which is not bad at all. We need a little bit of that in between segments, so that's pretty fun. I like that. I enjoyed it.
The only thing I don't like from that is I just wish LA Knight. I don't care that he's in this if he's going to move on from it into something serious like NXT Championship, the heavyweight, but because that's where he should be. He really should be featured, in that main event scene because he's too good.
Hopefully, like you said, the momentum that he has right now with the $1 million championship, hopefully he stills with it. He doesn't lose it because then if he goes move on to Karrion Kross or something even better, that will be really bad for him. Let's talk about, we get to see a re-encounter of old friends. We get to see Bobby Fish going against also Roderick Strong, but it's because a Diamond Mine is right there. They were talking a promo with Malcolm Bivens and all that. So he's like, hey, what's up, son, bro? And then you get to see that they're gonna have a match. But actually, Tyler Rust is the one that is gonna get the match. Yeah. So what did you think about it? It was pretty decent.
Yeah, I like this, just the whole dynamic of it because we didn't know what really Bobby Fish was going to do or anything. So he obviously sees Roderick Strong, the way he's been, with the new group, the way he's been acting and everything. So, maybe they have some scores to settle or whatever. It's just a good storyline, good dynamic because these two have history. And you even saw Malcolm Bivens was like, he's like, because he knew Bobby Fish wanted to go against Strong, but he's like, no. You're going against, what is it? Tyler
Rust.
Yeah, he's they're going against Tyler Rust. He's like, no. We're saving this match. But,
that's going to be TakeOver. I'm pretty sure it's going to be TakeOver.
Oh, you could easily do something like that. But, this was really good. And then you saw, both these guys are really good. I think Rust, this is good for him to be in the group. Because now he's, anytime you're in a group like that, if the group's presented legit, you'll look good. And people will be able to actually see you instead of you getting lost in the shuffle here. And this was good. And we all know how good Bobby Fish is. And I like the way it ended. I like how it was Roderick Strong who kind of, distracted him a little bit. And that allowed Russ to get the win. And because it wasn't a blatant like, oh, I'm gonna super kick him and then I'm done, I die. It wasn't like cheating like that. It was almost like it's kind of Bobby Fish's fault, like don't get distracted in all this. But this was good because it gets the group over. If this was AEW or Monday Night Raw, Bobby Fish would have won and it would have buried the group.
And it would have been done, but now I'm actually going to see it next week. And actually, in the tag match, this Kushida came out. And remember, Kushida got issues with like Diamond Mine because they kick him out and kick his ass like 2 weeks ago. And like they went against him because one of them, probably Roderick Strong, also wants an opportunity for the Cruiserweight Championship. So we're going to see him alongside Bobby Fish against Strong and Tyler Russ. So it's good because, like you said, the feud keeps going. And, like we got to see more matches between these guys. So, like, I think that, like, on TakeOver soon, it's going to be Roderick Strong against Bobby Fish. Old folks, same thing that Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Pretty much the exact same thing. So, let's move on, Paul, to, like, Samoa Joe and Karrion Kross because they had, like, a promo or, like, a segment with the two of them. And, it's like, keep the match legit. Don't screw me. You know what I mean? Like, keep it legit. And, we're good. But, like, you see, like, they keep planting seeds. And at the end of the show, you're going to, like, see how everything comes together because they kept planning the seeds between these two guys. It seems to me that Joe is like really, really close to be cleared to wrestle, so that's why they keep doing that. I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean he has to be. There's no way you're gonna just like blue ball the fans and like lead us on like this for every single week of NXT. It's not like they teased it at first and go, okay, then Joe's just legit. He doesn't get in anybody's face. No, it's every week people are getting Joe's face or calling him out like this. And, this was good. This serious, it was almost like a teaser or like a precursor to what we saw in the main event.
Yes. So we're going to see now Gigi Dolan, Paul. Gigi Dolan, like she, Priscilla Kelly, for the ones that remember AEW and all of that, Darby Allin's ex-wife. She goes against Sheree because remember that Sheree had challenged Toni Storm. But Toni Storm, it seems like she's going to go and debut on SmackDown. So I don't know if she's going to have like a farewell match on NXT. But like Gigi's the one that takes the challenge, and she goes, Sheree, like let's do it. I think I can beat you and all of that. So they gave us a pretty decent match. Like Priscilla Kelly is actually not bad as a wrestler, and Sheree needs more opponents. She needs to get in that WWE like wrestling style, learn how they do things and all of that. But the match, they even like is not as important as like the return of somebody that completely like I don't know if it fits for NXT, but like Mandy Rose, Paul.
Yeah, this to me was like a shock. I mean. Mandy Rose, like she was in NXT for like, she had a cup of coffee and then left, didn't really do too much. And her main claim to fame was on the main roster, comes back here. But we just saw her on Monday Night Raw, when she got shoved around by Natalia and Natalia. So it's like, okay, I guess, is that feud over? What do you do with Dana Brooke? But I don't really care about that. So, I really don't know what's going on with Mandy Rose. I'm thinking maybe her and Gigi have a group, or maybe she's going to team up with her, or maybe she's going to go after Saray because she's like, oh, you think you're so legit, blah, blah, blah. You're challenging people. How about you challenge me? Whatever. If you have nothing to do with Mandy Rose, this is fine. But it just seemed really weird in this match because then what we saw Mandy Rose do later on in the night had really nothing to do with these two. So that's what I was just like, But no, I mean, Saray getting a win is good. I want to see her have a longer competitive match because it seems most of these matches, it's almost like the same thing. She hits the same moves, makes the same comebacks. I mean, I love that. Like the ending, though, brutal drop kick into her, and then the side suplex, whatever, 1, 2, 3, really, like I said, she looks good, but I want to see her have like a good first feud, good, opponent.
Exactly. So like we're going to hopefully maybe Toni Storm. It's going to be maybe like a few weeks and then she goes to SmackDown. So we'll see what happens. But and then Sheree, like it will be a possible challenge for like Raquel Gonzalez. So that will be where I think she should go and then have like the long match and maybe win the championship. And like you said, give us like that match that we've been waiting. Sheree against Io Shirai. Keep it all like, like these two girls that like know that style and all of that. But, let's talk about Santos Escobar because he's pissed. Like he just says that he takes shots about like also like Isaiah Swerve Scott and the group and Heath Row. And then, like also like the other two guys from Legado del Fantasma also say, hey, the stuff that they did last week was bullshit. I didn't like it. I couldn't even keep along with the beat and all of that. So he takes shots at them and he says, hey, he has like the NXT North American Championship, something that I won. He's all right, but I'm gonna beat him and all. So he has a good promo. I like this, and he's gonna have a match with Dexter Lumis. So what do you think of the match, Paul?
I mean, the match, it was all right. I like how Lumis was before, because now like when he pull under the ring and does all that stuff, like even they said on commentary like, oh yeah, this isn't Halloween. What's going on? And it's like, yeah, ever since that Halloween Havoc where it was all the ghosts and the zombies and everything, I feel like Loomis's character, it's just he's gone to like that weird place instead of just being like a guy in the ring who's just really brutal and just like a serial killer. Like we said, he's just his character definitely lost a lot of its mystique. The music had a lot to do with that, I think. But
when they did that, like to me, that ended it. Yeah, that started like the funeral for like Dexter Loomis for me.
But they Legato was out there helping him and everything, and it was that's I guess fine, because both of these guys, the one thing commentary was saying, they were saying who deserves the win, or not deserves, but who needs the win more for their momentum. Is it Santos or is it Loomis? And I agree, both these guys needed the momentum. They both needed a win here. But the fact that Santos got it by cheating is fine, because, he's a heel, obviously. And Loomis, he can be like, so I'm distracted, everything with Indy and this and that. Like I said, do Gargano and Candice versus Indy and Loomis. Just do that match, get it over with, split up the way, because nobody cares about that group. And, Santos, hopefully he goes after Swerve Scott. That would be a good first feud, but I think
that's what they're going to do, because, like you said, like a Phantom Driver, 1, 2, 3, like he beats Loomis. I said this poor guy lost all the mistake that he had. I absolutely agree with you. And then you see a big stare down between like the two groups, Legado del Fantasma, and then you see Hit Row and Isaiah Swerve Scott looks so confident. It's like, now remember, the roles have reversed. Remember when Santos was champion and Isaiah was the one chasing? Now it's the other way around. So I'm pretty sure they're going to see a 6-man tag pretty soon. Or like
I would say that. I just wish they would have somehow waited for this and maybe turned Legato babyface. Somehow found a way to turn him, because you have Hit Row as a heel, Diamond Mind is a heel. That's 3 guys. They're 3 guys. People love Lucha Libre. They love the high flying. It's exciting. I think Santos could be a good babyface. So that's what I mean. I really wish they would have somehow took a little more time to do this feud, turned to babyface, because I think it would make it better. Because I really don't care about a feud between 2 heels.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Like, you need to like have that traditional way of babyface and heel, and especially because like Legato. I mean, we're big fans of Legato, but it needs to be more clear than that. Like, you need to know which one is which, and what is like doing. What the one is doing and the other one also. So, but also we got to see Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell comes out and like to save her men. Yeah, Dexter Loomis, and she does the same thing that he did weeks ago. So she's the one carrying him now, and I mean, this is like, to me, it's okay. Even like she talked to Beth Phoenix, and she says sometimes you gotta like take a leap of faith and go with it. And I don't know, this is not interesting. Like the way that they're doing it is like they're waiting so long for like to get me something. I
wish when Beth said that to Indy, oh, sometimes you gotta take a leap of faith. I wish Indy said, oh, you mean like Edge did with Lita?
That would have been. So I didn't know him back then. It's fine. But like, this is to me a little cringy. It's like it's way too long for this, and like the fact that he doesn't even talk.
That's why I said just do the mixed match tag and just
get it over with. Get it over with. I don't like it, like you said. So like, Paul, let's move on to like actually like the beginning of the tournament, the breakout tournament, and there's like Duke Hudson going against Ikeman, right? Hero. Like this was actually a quick match. I thought that this was gonna be like 10 minutes or so. This was what, like 3 minutes? Sidewalks, like big sidewalk slam, 1, 2, 3, and done. And Hudson wins. So the other guy had like a promo, and he said that like he's one of like the most handsome men or something like that. Or
I think that's what that means. He said it means in Japanese, Iki man or Ike man, whatever it was, means it's like handsome or something in Japanese.
Well, that wasn't even handsome, like how quick he lost.
No, so. And then, but I mean, Hudson, he cut a great promo. Like he said, he's like, I'm 6'4", 6'5", whatever he said. He's like, I got a huge back, huge arms, I'm legit, blah, blah, blah. So you can see he's like a really cocky, confident heel. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy goes to the finals of this thing. I mean, he looked real good. Like I said, he can cut a good promo too already. And I mean, but like Ike Man, or what is it? Ike Man, Icky Man, whatever his name is, the guy in the shirt with the long hair.
Yeah, he said Rollins 1, 2, 3 and done. Exactly. That was like,
he was trained by Tajiri in a great mood and stuff. So I think this guy will be good too. But like we say, somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. And then, if you're looking at those two, you're going to put Duke Hudson over.
Exactly. You're not going to go with like the biggest guy. And how McMahon and like, Triple H probably has a little bit of that mentality, so they're not going to do that. Another one that it was really quick, and that was like Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter. Like they went against Aaliyah and also Jessica Mea. So that was really quick. Again, another one, 3 seconds. Why? Because now the most important thing is like what we've been saying weeks ago, that also Frankie Monet was teasing to have an alliance between also Aaliyah and Jessica Maya and her. So they come like the champion, even like they said the champion trio or something like that. They had a name for it. But then, Aaliyah goes like really insane on like Tony Khan or Robert Stone, and then she beats him up, all of that. And then she's like, oh, so I help you more than what you help me. So she leaves. And then you see Jesse's like, well, really, dude? It's like, you didn't subscribe to Rover yet? What are you waiting for? Do it. And then Frankie comes out and she's like, I already did. Yeah, I'm legit. So, like, you see, like, Frankie's going to take the group. Yeah, we already knew that was going to happen. They tease it a little bit. It's happening.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you need to do there. I think it'll just be good because Frankie will at least actually wrestle. They're going to push her. She's going to look legit. And what did I say earlier about a group? When you have a group and people win, it makes the lesser people, like the mid-card, lower-tier people, it boosts them when the group looks good and they win. And Robert Stone was a loser manager. He didn't manage anybody legit. He had Mercedes Martinez, and then she was like, screw you, you're bullshit.
Nobody benefited from being
Yeah, exactly. Him. So, I mean, this is good for her because now Frankie Monet has some lackeys as well.
Yes, like also like we got to see a promo by Pete Dunne. He's like, oh, like tell me a little bit of Gargano, Karrion Kross, all of that. So like he keeps saying that he's the most talented and the best, technical man in NXT. The best technical wrestler. And then also Thatcher came out. So and then they went against Ciampa. So you got to see a feud between these two, groups, these two tags. So it's okay. I mean, I'm not really like. I hate how like Pete Dunne has been booked lately. I feel that like he should be champion, like either like the North American, he should be like NXT champion, or at least going for that. But I don't know how you feel, but I don't think they're doing justice to Pete Dunne.
I don't mind this, and I like when Thatcher was like, "So, are you the toughest man, or are you the best wrestler? Which one is it?" And then I love when Pete Dunne gets in his face, like, "Well, who's asking?" Because he's pretty much like, "I know you aren't asking because you ain't either. You're a little pussy." So they have like a stare down, and that was good. And then Ciampa comes in, and I wouldn't mind seeing Ciampa and Pete Dunne in a one-on-one match. That would be good. But like you said, in a tag, and it's like, man, this is great. And then you look who the champions are, MSK, and it's like that just kills the whole thing.
Exactly, like your champions are like so weak when you compare all these other four. I mean, maybe not like about Thatcher, maybe not, like.
No. I would say Oni Lorcan and Thatcher are better than MSK.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you put them in a tag, I think they're probably better, and they carry themselves a lot better. So exactly. So if you think that like these four guys are better than your champion, something's wrong. There's a problem right there. So moving on, let's go with like Juke. So like you get to see the way, and they're trying to like get in Samoa Joe's like good side, and it's like fuck off. Samoa Joe's like fuck off. It's just you're gonna lose anyway. The feud is gonna be with me. Fuck off. And then another like stare down. They're really teasing this match, so we're gonna have it. So I'm telling you, like probably Joe is like really, really soon be cleared to wrestle, or he's already cleared to wrestle. So they keep teasing this situation. So that's fine. This is gonna be a great, great match, and then we're gonna find out who the best, like a wrestler is, who the best technical wrestler, who the toughest wrestler is between the two. This is gonna be amazing. I'm just telling you that. It doesn't even need a title, but it's gonna be probably the best match of any takeover.
Oh yeah, that's why I said they keep teasing all this stuff, and we're gonna see another tease for Samoa Joe, not just in the main event, but
Blue Balls Joe.
Exactly. I mean, I think Triple H was like, Joe, if you come back to us, I will give you the book. You write your storyline, and we'll book everything else around it.
He's like, you like blue balls? Here, start teasing everybody. You love to do that. And talking about the guys that love to tease, there you go. So losing is part of wrestling, it's like Orange Cassidy is my best friend. I love his character, even though he has the hand up, all the way twisted like that.
We go to the same barber.
We go to the same bar. So Kyle O'Reilly is absolutely dead for me. This whole push has not worked at all. And I don't know if it's his fault. I don't know if it's like Creative's fault. I don't know who the fault is when it comes to his push, but like he should be in Adam Cole's level, and he's absolutely like way below him for me.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Adam Cole pretty much said the reason why, in his promo following this. But I mean, this is a thing where it's just like, now that's like the self-doubt. At first he's like, no, I'm legit, I'll break off, whatever. Now he's like, man, well, when I was with Undisputed Era, we had all the gold and we had all this. Now tried to do. He was like Frank Sinatra, I'm going to do it my way, and it's like, oh no, that didn't work out. So it's like, so he's thinking, he's like, maybe I didn't need to change. And then they're like, well, what does that mean? Are you going to go back to the old O'Reilly? Are you going to be like a heel Undisputed Era? And he's like, no. It's almost like a little soul searching. He's got to kind of find his way. And I still think they do have plans for him, but like we said, in the match with him and Cole, there's no way that he was going to go over. Cole
you're right.
Because
you're right. Exactly. The guy. Exactly. So you wanted to talk about Adam Cole because we love the guy. And it needs to have the music again. The music that he has right now absolutely sucks. I don't know who writes that, but it's absolutely trash. They need And anyway, he's talking and he makes fun of Kyle O'Reilly. He's like, hey, it doesn't feel that much better to say, I told you so. I'm better. I'm the legit guy. I was the one that carried Undisputed Era. And now he's just like, Kyle O'Reilly, he's just like, losing his part of like wrestling, his part of like fighting. No, fuck that. He's like,
if you're a loser or like if you're bullshit,
Yeah, if you're a loser, it's part of like that's normal for you, but not for me. So he's like, and I'm going to talk about Samoa Joe, and also like tell me another guy that could go against me, and then Bronson Reed comes out. So this was trash for me. Bronson Reed should go to the main roster and then just go and be a failure over there because no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say with this, I know you don't like this because you think, like you said, why is he not on the main roster? He already lost his title. Throughout the night a couple of times it was mentioned like Bronson Reed, like he doesn't even wrestle here anymore. Like, oh yeah, he's gone, whatever. Legato mentioned him. They're like, yeah, he left. He's bullshit. But with this, I don't think he's obviously not going to beat Adam Cole. He's not going to squash Adam Cole and then go to the main roster or anything because otherwise, why would he have lost the title and why, whatever. He wouldn't be like up here, then down here, then up. No. Yeah. I think he's just going to have a good match with Adam Cole. And Adam Cole's going to make him look like $1 million, but Cole's still going to win.
And leave,
yeah. And that's what I think they're going to do. Then,
they tease hopefully it'll be the main event right there. Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be the main event next week. Or whenever, because they didn't really announce it. At least I don't think so.
Well, like this is probably going to be the main event.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
NXT Women's Championship match: Tiana Shah with Xia Li against Raquel Gonzalez. So they're trying to do that, Paul. Like every single week they're going to have like a championship match as the main event. That's fine. Like they need the ratings to go up. That the ratings last week were actually really down for what like the Great American Bash was. So they tease this with the blue balls. That's fine. And also like Mandy Rose is another one. They said since somebody's like different's going to manage around here. So I don't know if she's going to come back as a manager. I don't know if she's going to come back full-time on NXT. Or you're just teasing it. Like you said, there's a lot of call-ups, a lot of going back and forward. And like the crowds are going to be back. There's a lot of reports that state that like they're going to do a lot of big things. So that's what we're all going to be, covering this. We have like Money in the Bank on Sunday. Friday night's going to be Smackdown. So just stay with us because we're going to be talking about every single thing that happens. And now, Paul, like we mentioned in the beginning of the show, it's time to talk about NXT Championship match, Johnny Gargano against Karrion Kross. Your thoughts about it? Johnny didn't look as bad. I thought he was going to look even worse than this. But, he put on a good fight.
No, and, again, this match goes to kind of what I said about Legato and Hit Row, where you have both guys going into it as a heel. But as soon as this match started, I knew Johnny was going to go back to his babyface ways of, like, in the ring, wrestling and stuff. Yeah, exactly. And even they were saying on commentary, this is like the old, Johnny takeover,
Johnny wrestling.
Yeah, the crowd is behind him. They love it, everything. But it's like he's still a heel and everything. So it's like, I don't really know. Would you want to cheer for Gargano? But no, he had his normal, small man, using his speed and, everything. But, I mean, Karrion, it don't matter what Johnny did. Karrion just came back, got right back up. There was a couple spots a little bit later on in the match, like when he has him in the choke, Johnny gets to the ropes, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Joe almost has to push him off instead of calling a DQ. And then you see Karrion Kross, he's like, okay. He's like kind of like, calming himself down because, Joe put his hands on him and everything. And then later on, he tries to use the steps. Joe, kind of stops him there and everything. So you almost saw it's like Karrion he's like, I'd rather just get DQ'd. I don't need to pin this guy. I'll just get DQ'd. I'll hold my belt. I don't care. You know what I mean? So, but eventually, I love the ending sequence because I knew there was no way they're going to have Gargano kick out of that. And it's just where he
power bombs.
Yeah, he hits the shot to the back of the neck with commentary. Oh, he didn't get all of it. He must have heard Vic say that. He's like, oh, well, I'll get all this. 4 power bombs later, and then another shot to the neck. Yeah, and then like you said, then the Saito. Then I think he did another shot to the neck or something. But
and then
pinned him. 1, 2, 3. Gargano, there's no way he was kicking out of that. And then you saw this stare down here, and I didn't understand. I mean, obviously I know why they did it because of what happened like right afterwards, but Joe just gets right up in his face. I'm like, what's Joe doing? Like, what's Joe? I mean, I know he has to raise his hand him the belt and everything. Maybe Karrion said something, but he gets right up in his face and they start like jaw jack and everything. Then Joe kind of turns around, goes to leave or whatever. Karrion, boom, he gets the straight jacket on him. And at first I thought Scarlett was like telling him to stop, which you would think she would have, because Joe's technically an official. So they could be fined. He could even be stripped of the belt. She should be being like, no, stop, don't be bullshit. But then she was like cheering it on later. So I'm like, well, she's just as dumb as everybody else. But, this was good because I mean, it was good just because hopefully it means we're going to see Joe back in the ring soon.
And what was the line that you said, unless provoked, right?
Yeah, because William Regal was like, Joe's not allowed to touch any other superstar, get physical, anything like that, unless provoked. So you see Karrion, he's like, unless provoked, huh? Like pretty much saying like, is this provoking you enough? Like, does this now mean like we're going to fight, we're going to settle this? So hopefully this is what we see, but you can't have Joe's first match back in NXT, everything, and he loses to Karrion Kross.
It cannot happen like that.
Joe needs to actually win, to be honest. Joe needs to beat Karrion and be like, oh, holy shit. And then then Karrion goes to the main roster. That's what I think what you need to do, because then, like you said, you have all these feuds lined up. One of the first feuds you could do would be Pete Dunne versus Samoa Joe.
And all of that involved the title.
What we could see again? Bring Finn Balor back. Hey, you had a couple weeks off. Do you want to go against Joe again? Legit. There's all these
Let's go back to NXT memory lane, and then Adam Cole. You have all of this like lined up for you. So like if he's ready to wrestle, which he should be. I think it's going to be a great opportunity.
And whoever wins the breakout, let's say Joe's the champ. Whoever wins the breakout tournament, they have any championship of their choosing. If it's that big guy, Duke Hudson, whatever, he obviously can't go after the cruiserweight. Maybe he's a Samoa Joe. Let's do it. Boom. And it
can be a great opportunity for him. So, like a great ending for NXT. That's good because you leave the hook. You leave us like waiting for something new to come out of this. So, like, we're going to wait. Like, there's got to be like some kind of takeover coming up for like really the week of SummerSlam. I think the day after is supposed to be a takeover because SummerSlam, let's remember, it's going to be August 21st. It's going to be on a Saturday. So the day after, like, I remember hearing reports that they're going to have a takeover the day after SummerSlam. So it's going to be good. And that's probably going to headline the show. So that's going to be fine. So that's the review for NXT UK. NXT family, not NXT UK. NXT UK is on Thursday. So thank you to every single one of you. One more time. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and also follow us in the rest of the social media world. Where?
And that is Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and on Twitch. And, of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Tomorrow, what is waiting for us is just like a Fire Fest. 9-1 AEW. Yes, AEW. So we still do it, and we will keep doing it until you guys start saying don't do it. So please raise up your hands, express yourself, and then let us know what you guys feel about that. You and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...